that I do a lot of, but he's kind of got this vibe to it where it's that kind of cycle, but he's always moving with that right hand, kind of like that, and he's kind of using his third finger to pick that high E string. Hopefully you can hear this, but yeah, when he then moves over to a G, and again, actually stays on the D string, but it's this right hand, I'll do it slowly, and he might be using his second finger there. And he's kind of always got this movement to it. I am just going to go back so that you can see how comfortable Joey is with this technique. Just see that he's flowing so naturally with that, and obviously he's just playing this the way that is most comfortable for him. And yes, some people might play it finger style, some people might play it with hybrid picking, even using different fingers. Like I said, that he might be using the second finger there rather than picking it. I think I would use the pick, I think, in order to do it. Yeah, I'm now kind of overthinking it. I'm just going to take this back so that you can see kind of how comfortable this is with that right hand. You know, Joey's just going through this naturally, so comfortable with it. And look at the way that he's kind of always got this flow going. So he's kind of got, yeah, that last part is kind of more like a downstroke and an upstroke. So he's kind of filling in the sound. He's not being really overly precise, but even when I say that, he is, because we're still getting that, you know, effectively that pattern. But the last part is more like a downstroke and an upstroke, and that's why you kind of see that movement going on. When he goes over to the G, this is the other thing to mention, is that he's still staying on that D string, so he's not kind of moving his pick down, and you can see that because you see the strings moving, but that's still the same pattern. C, and let me just see if he goes to the A string for that. Quite hard to see, but for the C, he might, because there's other guitars playing, he might stay with that to an F. Let's see what he does with the F. Okay, so with the F, he's actually stayed on the D string, so he's probably just kept this same pattern. Just to mention quickly about bar chords on acoustic guitar, because I know they are difficult to play, and a lot of people just use capos and never get into playing bar chords. And here, our bar chord is the B flat, so it means that we're on the first fret. And, I mean, it's therefore going to be the most difficult bar chord to play, or at least one of the most difficult. I mean, F, I think it's quite easy when you get your thumb over the top, but playing the B flat, it means that your genetics is called into question, because when you're down at the first fret, obviously the distance between the frets is the most it's going to be on the whole fretboard. So if you've got larger hands, it's going to make it easier to play. If you've got small hands like me, it's going to be more difficult. And then trying to kind of get it clean is difficult as well. I mean, I can just about kind of get away with it, but then we've got to apply this sequence that Joey's doing. Just quickly, I want to throw in here that my hand wants to go through the same sequence that it has, you know, probably for years, going like that, which is the muscle memory in my right hand. That's what it wants to do. But Joey's not doing that, so this is why it's really difficult. And if I was learning this to play it, and if anybody is trying to learn this song and you want to do the picking, and if there's any sequence that you're not used to, you just got to do it slowly. Obviously, I'm doing on a B flat bar chord, it's not a good idea, because yeah, it's going to be difficult to keep it clean all the time. So practice on an easier chord, maybe the first D minor that we have. But when we get into that, it goes back to that kind of A string there, which is going to feel a little bit weird. Kind of like that. God, yeah. Guitarists will know that trying to overwrite muscle memory on that right hand, it just doesn't want to do something different, and that's why you have to keep it slow. If I was learning this, I would do it very slowly. For example, when we get to that E sus, the A sus4, we go. Yeah, that's the speed that you'd have to do it to start getting that muscle memory used to it. And you can start to. That's quite a good one, but getting that. There you go. So the more you do it, the more the muscle memory starts to accept that new way of playing it. The other thing is, if you listen out, you can just hear lead lines going on all the time with one of the other guitars. Like there, we had. There's a little run in there. And, I mean, it's difficult to make out all of those. Okay, yeah, so now we've got that run down. So it might have been, that might have been the first one. And then, kind of like that. So, yeah, I mean, we've got, obviously that's technical as well. I mean, that's not kind of easy stuff, because yeah, we're alternate picking all of that to make it stand out, because there's nowhere to hide here. We're playing acoustic guitar, so if you miss any notes, it's going to stand out. And also, if you kind of get any buzzing going on, you know, you've got to kind of play it with authority to get it to sound as it should.